Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today is Tuesday, which means I'm doing art around the world, and it is the month of March, which means I'm doing Nigeria. And today I wanted to do an artist spotlight on Ebele Okoye, and she was born in 1969 in Onitsha, Anambra State in Nigeria, in the middle of a civil war, and she is the youngest of 7 siblings, and she has 6 older brothers that are a little bit older than her, that sort of went off to boarding school, and she was sort of raised alone with her mother. Now, growing up, she did not have a television set, and so as a child, adults would tell stories to the children around campfires on sort of full moonlit nights. And at 7 years old, she knew she wanted to bring these stories to life. So here is a photo. I apologize if this is blurry. This is a screen capture from a video. But here she is in the middle with her parents and all her brothers. And she lived in extreme poverty and was often sent home from school because they weren't able to pay the fees. Like, they did the very best they could. And she started teaching herself French and German. And in 1989, when she graduated from school, she worked as a graphic designer and a copywriter. And at the time, she was also doing some freelance cartoon work for tabloids and things. So she had her first solo exhibition. Here's a bunch of her different oil and acrylic paintings that can be found on her webpage. And this was shown at the exhibition of the National Museum in Lagos. And in 1995, she began sort of solely focusing on learning the German language. And in 1997, she was accepted to the University of Cologne in Germany, but she couldn't get a visa. So there is an entire harrowing story about how this program was extended for her year after year, but the visa wasn't approved through Germany. And finally it was, and by minutes she caught a flight, the last one of the day, and it was a day before the program was going to expire, and she reached the office within minutes. The whole thing is just amazing. I'm going to link that interview if you want to see her in her own words talking about it, because it is absolutely wild. And so in 2000, she became a resident of Germany, and that's where she has primarily lived ever since. Now, in 97, she was accepted to, So in 2003, she got the Communication and Design Department. She got into this college at the University of Applied Sciences in Dusseldorf, Germany. And in 2004, she trained in traditional 2D animation at the International Film School and was able to finish sort of animation training. Now, this is just a screen capture from one of her short films. In 2006, she made her first animation short called The Lunatic. This is a screen capture of that film. And she won a DEFA Research Award. So, in 2007, she did an animation based on a 1919 poem by Kurt Schwitters. He's a German poet. I'm not really familiar with his work. And because of her animation, she won the Robert Bach Foundation Award. And this led to a co-production between Germany and Bulgaria. In 2008, she sent her short film, The Lunatic, to the 4th African Movie Academy Awards, and it earned an honorable mention. So, at this time, she was the only Nigerian animator and the only one out of the country. Because the only way she could get the education she needed for this industry was to go abroad, basically. So in 2010, she started the Animation Club Africa on Facebook to create sort of a networked group of animators. And one of her brothers started Shrinkfish, which is it's called Shrinkfish Limited. It's an animation studio in Nigeria, which will help bring her knowledge back to Nigeria. So Ebele wanted to take what she learned and bring it back. So in 2013, she held Nigeria's first ever animation course at the Goethe Institute in Nigeria. And some creators from this course were able to become active trainees for her short film, The Legacy of Rubies, which won the African Movie Academy Awards in 2015. This was a closing film for the 2015 Silicon Valley African Film Festival, and it premiered at the Toronto Black Film Festival in 2016. So, she has had many group exhibitions, solo exhibitions, over a dozen animated films, and she is considered the first female animator of Nigeria and one of the pioneers of African animation. So she's lived in Berlin, and that's where she's still at since 2008. And she has stated that she doesn't really do Nollywood, which is considered Nigerian Hollywood, that film industry, because it works at such a fast pace that she can't complete the types of films she wants to do. So what she does is she draws digitally every frame, and there's about 12 illustrations per 1 second. And so in a day, she can create about 4 seconds of animation. And in the Nigerian Nollywood, they turn out about a 90-minute feature film in 2 days. So working with the resources she has in Germany at the pace she does, she is able to create this illustrated style. And it is digital illustration, but it's not 3D. It's not 3D rendering where she can then move the creatures around or the people around. She just draws every single frame, which I just think that's attention to detail that's just amazing. She is fluent in English, German, and Igbo, which is the principal native language of Eastern Nigeria. And she has other projects she's working on, and one is called A Story of Heroes, and it's sort of a multilingual animation project that empowers kids, focusing on like inclusion, tolerance, and diversity. So what I'm going to do in the description box is I'm going to link her webpage, because it's such a really, really good resource to all her projects. You can see all her different styles of art. She has continuous line drawings. She has sort of prints on there, if you were interested in looking at like mono prints and charcoals. She has a bunch of animation clips. She has a YouTube page, one for her personally, and then one for the project that's The Story of Heroes. And you can see her different animations. Now, if you want to watch the full-length film, that is, let's see, it's right here on the page. It links to her Vimeo, and I believe it's behind a paywall. So you can watch the trailer for The Legacy of Rubies, which is her award-winning film. It's about 28 minutes long, but if you want to watch the entire film, you will have to pay some sort of money up front. I'm not sure how that works. But I will link to the video animation clips on her webpage. There's a huge About Me section that's amazing. Her story is so amazing. You can contact her. She's on Instagram. She's on Twitter, though probably not very frequently. And if you want to reach out with her, chat with her, just tell her she's amazing, go on ahead. I think she's absolutely fascinating. She is sort of a really awesome example of perseverance. And I just love that. I love that for the art community. I love that for the animation community. I hope you found this video interesting, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.